Do you understand what you're charged with?
No, I don't quite understand those no, I don't. I don't plan to plea. I guess I'll answer in a formative that Demers is not acquiesced to
All right.
quasi-juris. I'm Gordy. I'm not Mr. Cooley. I'm Gordy. I'm a man. I'm not a person. If you have any papers in front of you with my signature on them, it's because that is what was required for me to get away from my captors.
All right, guys.
All right, this next guy is completely off the rails. A full-blown sovereign citizen. And yes, he's acting totally unhinged. He actually claims the police captured him like he's some kind of prisoner of war or something. Then, when he gets to court, he starts going off on the judge with the usual sovereign citizen nonsense, saying the court has no authority over him, that is not subject to the law, and so on. But here's the truth, that's not how any of this works. Sovereign citizens love to believe they can just opt out of the legal system, but in reality, the law doesn't work like that. You don't get to make up your own rules just because you don't like the ones in place. Let me know in the comments. Do you think this guy actually realizes how crazy he sounds? Or is he so far gone that he truly believes this stuff? Let's take a closer look at this wild courtroom moment featuring Gordon Cooley.
Gordon Cooley. You'll need to unmute your screen, sir.
Yes, I am the man that is that person.
So you're Gordon Cooley?
Yep.
Very well. State appears by Jill Gillette, County Attorney. Mr. Cooley, there's been an amended complaint filed on, it looks like April 17th. You're charged with driving while suspended as a second offense for on or about March the 25th of 2024 in Elk County, Kansas. If indeed you have a prior conviction where this would be a second offense, that's a Class A misdemeanor. A Class A misdemeanor is punishable up to 1 year in the county jail and a fine not to exceed $2,500. Additionally, with a second offense for driving while suspended, there's a mandatory 5-day minimum sentence. However, a person can be placed on probation from that, but there is mandatory sentence that would have to be imposed. Do you understand what you're charged with?
No, I don't quite understand those no, I don't.
What's your question in regards to what you're charged with?
Well, I think this is a matter of a mistaken identity. My persons was never involved in anything. I'm carrying my property from point A to point B. I have there's no vested interest of the state to even stop me. I'm exercising my God-given constitutionally protected rights, and I stated that to the man acting as the police officer. I didn't present him with a license.
You are charged, sir. Hold on. You're charged with driving while suspended, a second offense. That would indicate to me that you've had a first offense.
No.
Have you been in court before on this type of charge?
Nope, not on driving while suspended. No, I have not.
All right. Well, that is what you're charged with. You don't have to agree with it. You can certainly, that is an issue at trial if you feel you have a defense. As with the others that I've explained, you have certain rights. You are charged with a misdemeanor, so you are entitled to be represented by a counsel. And if you wish to apply for court-appointed counsel, if you meet the financial guidelines, I would appoint one to represent you. You also have the right to represent yourself. You also have the right to have counsel of your own choosing at your own expense. So at this time, if you wish to have a trial, if you wish to speak with an attorney or counsel, would he qualify under any programs you have since you charge this as a second offense?
No.
All right. So apparently diversion wouldn't be an option for you. So if you're wishing to have a trial or to speak with an attorney, your plea at this time should be not guilty. If you wish to plead guilty, then we'd proceed to sentencing. But based upon what you're telling me, those would be issues that could be addressed at trial. So at this time, how do you wish to plead?
I don't plan to plea. I guess I'll answer in a formative that Demers is not acquiesced to quasi-jurisdiction.
Right. If you're not going to enter a formal plea, you're standing mute, and I will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf.
Okay, I exercise my right to trial by jury then. I'd like to face the man or the woman that claims I've done them harm
Mr.
or
Cooley,
loss.
Mr. Cooley, if you wish to have a trial by
I'm
jury,
Gordy. I'm not Mr. Cooley. I'm Gordy. I'm a man. I'm not a person.
all right.
I-
Mr. Cooley,
Can I ask you a
Mr.
question,
Cooley.
Chair?
you need to be quiet for a moment. And I'm going to explain what the situation is.
So now we've got Gordy. Honestly, one of the goofiest names for one of the goofiest cases I've seen. And get this, he's claiming identity fraud as a defense. As if the court is just going to be like, oh, wow, identity fraud? Case dismissed. He's acting like he's pulling off some genius legal loophole, but really, all he's doing is making things worse for himself. Let's take a second to talk about perjury. That's when you knowingly lie under oath. And yes, it's a serious felony. Depending on where you are, perjury can land you up to 5 years in prison, along with some hefty fines. Plus, it kills your credibility in court and sticks you with a criminal record. Here's Gordy, throwing out wild claims in court, thinking he's being smart. But really, he's just digging himself into a deeper hole. What do you all think? Is he clueless, or is he actually trying to manipulate the system? And while we're at it, what do you think about the judge's handling of this so far?
You have the right to be represented by counsel. You entered a plea, refusing to enter a plea, which is fine. A person can stand mute, and I will set this matter for trial. If you wish to be or have a jury trial, you have the right to do so. However, you need to do that in the proper form. With a misdemeanor offense, you have to file a written motion for that request. Otherwise, it's set before the court. So you would need to do that in a timely way. If you're going to represent yourself, you would have to follow the rules as though you're an attorney. So all of those things would, most people don't have the training to where if they're going to do a jury trial, they're better off being represented by counsel. But that's a choice that you're going to have to make.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Yes, you may.
Can there be a valid cause of action without an injured party?
Sir, that's not a valid question for what we're doing here today.
I've tried settling this matter in the private twice. If you have any papers in front of you with my signature on them, it's because that is what was required for me to get away from my captors.
Poor Gordy.
So Gordy commits a crime, gets caught, and now he's suddenly the victim? Come on, man, you did the crime. Now face the consequences. And it's only 5 days in jail. It's not like he's getting a life sentence. This is the pattern with sovereign citizens. No accountability. They blame the system, the judge, the police, anyone but themselves. It makes you wonder, is this where society's headed? People trying to dodge responsibility by pretending the law just doesn't apply to them. I don't know about you, but I keep seeing more and more of these cases, and it's getting ridiculous. Anyone else notice this trend? Let's get back into the court hearing.
I don't understand what a man thinks that he has the authority to take another man and throw them in a box when they have harmed no man or woman. No
Mr.
claim
Cooley,
has been brought
Mr.
against
Cooley,
them.
you need to be quiet now. We're going to give you a court date, and you can advise me how you're going to proceed at that court date. If you're going to apply for a jury trial, then you'll need to make that application by that time. Otherwise, you'll be set for a bench trial. That's before the court. Sarah, could you give us a date, please?
What sort of time frame would you like, Judge? 30 minutes?
Approximately 30 days, 30 minutes would be fine.
We can do May 15th at 2:30.
At
Judge,
2:30?
I'm out that afternoon. We could do 11:30 if there's nothing else scheduled there.
We put that for a trial for an hour, didn't we? So
If you only need 30 minutes, we could do the 11 to 12.
well, we said something at 10:30, I believe, or was it the 10 o'clock that was set for trial?
It was the 10:30 to 11:30 that was set.
Okay, let's set this at 11:30 for a pretrial. So, Mr. Cooley, you will need to appear at the courthouse in Howard. And if you're going to file a motion for a jury trial, you need to have done so by that time. If you're going to hire an attorney, you need to do that. If you're going to apply for an attorney, I would suggest that you do that as soon as possible. so that you can have counsel at that time.
Am I gonna be able to face the man or the woman that has a claim before me, or are you gonna discharge the matter? If there's not a man or a woman here, then this matter needs to be discharged.
Sir, I've heard these arguments before, and those are not legal arguments. Somebody's made these things.
I'm not a member of the legal society.
Sir,
Can we bring the law to the court, please?
you've been-
Can we bring
you've
the
been-
law to the court?
Mr. Cooley, stop interrupting. At your hearing, if you have motions that you wish to have heard, you can file them in advance. I would strongly recommend you be represented by counsel. But your court appearance is May 15th at 11:30, and you are to be here in person.
I will invoke my common law rights.
At this point, Gordy seriously seems to believe he's the victim. Or maybe he's just pretending to be. It's hard to tell. Either way, he's acting like the entire legal system is out to get him. And of course, he brings up the classic sovereign citizen argument, that the victim needs to be present for the case to move forward. But here's the deal, if you're caught driving without a license, that's on you. No victim needs to show up in court for you to be held accountable. The law doesn't revolve around your personal interpretations of justice. It's wild how sovereign citizens try to bend reality to fit their narrative. And honestly, some of them might really be mentally unwell. On the other hand, I can understand, to a point, how someone with no money might try to delay a case in desperation. But let's be clear, that doesn't make it right to the end. They're just wasting time and taxpayer money. Personally, I side with the judge on this one. But what do you think? Was Gordy just playing the system, or did he really believe what he was saying? Your thoughts in the comments. And if you like this breakdown and want more like it, hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.